Guys, this weekend at UFC 291, a new BMF will be crowned, and my partners at DraftKings are offering an incredible deal for all new customers who sign up using the promo code SONNEN. New customers, bet just $5 on any of this weekend's fights and receive $150 in bonus bets instantly. You can even use your bonus bets on DraftKings same fight parlays for a shot at an even bigger payout. Combine multiple bets together from the same fight, including number of rounds and method of victory. Remember, DraftKings is the only place where you can bet same fight parlays. If sports betting is not yet available in your state, don't worry. You can still join in on all the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy. So click on the link below and download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Remember, new customers, use the code SONNEN and bet just $5 on any wager to get $150 in bonus bets instantly. That's promo code SONNEN only at DraftKings. Oh my goodness, I am so disappointed, guys. Did you see Sean Strickland comes out, tells us he's not fighting Adesanya? And what do you guys want? What do you guys make of that? You know, I had a very passive-aggressive warning to Sean a week ago. But it was passive-aggressive because I didn't think it was true. I thought he was having fun. Sean's got this great relationship with Schmo and Helen. Like, the best Sean interviews, possibly the best interviews you're even getting from an entertainment standpoint in MMA right now, is Sean. He's so comfortable with those guys. But when Sean was visiting with Helen, he said, and I got to back this up, guys. It gets announced to us through Sean and Izzy. Whoever went first, the other one came right out and confirmed it. But it was done. Sean versus Izzy. All in conjunction with Duplessis passing up the shot. But this was done. We had moved on. This is done. Then Sean comes out with an interview and he says they're going to have to pay me. I'll do the fight. They're going to have to pay me. The main event, I got to get on an airplane. It's relatively short notice. It's the absolute hardest guy. They didn't pick me first. They picked him. They got to pay something to hurt my feelings, right? I mean, I'm completely adding to it, but he says they got to pay me. And that's where my passive-aggressive warning came in. Whoa, go ahead and do that, and they will pay you. By the way, do that quietly. That needs to be for a number of reasons that I don't even want to get into, private. Between you guys, it's business. That's quite literally what business means. A lot of people think business means money or an exchange of goods and services for money. Preserving information, right? You can have a business that never turns a profit. You're still out of business. It's preserving information. It's very important. I'm going to leave it at that. I could really go on. I'm going to walk away there. But I didn't buy it. I thought Sean had it done. Sean's a very smart guy. He is not what you guys think, for the record. He's entertaining you as best he knows how. He's a very noble person. If he says he will do something, it is done. Just so you know. And if he says I'll do something, but I want to talk about the numbers, well, he means that too. But I really did think they were fighting. I really did think that was done. I thought it was a lock. And now Sean had come out last night. Izzy said nothing. The UFC has said nothing. That probably won't change until, let me do the math in my head right now, tomorrow. That's when media day will be for the BMF belt. No, later today. I got my days off, darn it. Later today. The point is this. We don't have clarity yet. Sean comes out last night, says the fight's not happening. He even said, hey, look, it's 6 weeks till bell time, and they don't have a main event. Somebody at the UFC really dropped the ball here. Now, before anybody at the UFC on the second floor gets their feelings hurt, that was a guy that was mad. He got his hurt first. Just so you know, I don't want anybody coming back on Sean on this. I really don't. This is a guy that was trying to communicate and let us in on information, which frankly, I'm glad to have. So, what does that look like, guys? And there is one piece that is extremely peculiar here, which is, we've heard this from Sean, we have not heard anything from Izzy. And there is nobody in this sport better at talking to us than Adesanya. Adesanya is a famous, handsome, rich guy who absolutely remains a man of the people. And he's doing that through a number of measures psychologically. But one of the things he does, he always talks to us. He doesn't preserve information. He doesn't keep it from us. He didn't stand with the corporation and wait till the press conference. He communicates with us, and he said nothing. What do you make of that? What do you make of that? Perhaps he doesn't know. Perhaps he heard Adesanya say it the same as I did. And he's got to start making some phone calls. Perhaps. Typically speaking, if the UFC makes an offer, it would never go away on their part. Even if they regretted it, even if they second-guessed it, and even if they found a better option, they would not take it away. So that means whatever was going on with Strickland was not done. It was in a place of back and forth. And when you're going back and forth, they've got every right to keep on checking options. So are we to understand they found another option? Because that would be probably what you guys are thinking, right? And you're probably sitting there just going, oh, Chael, come on, who do you think it's going to be? Well, we can play that game. We can play that game, but before we do, everything's on the table right now, including Izzy's not going to do the fight. Izzy's just not going to be there in that position. I do not know enough about that event. By example, it's 6 weeks away, but I'm quoting what Sean said last night. I don't know what venue it's in. I don't know what city it's in, but it's very relevant to have tickets gone on sale. If the Australian audience was promised Izzy, okay, great. Then they'll have Izzy. But were they? I don't see how. The main event was rumored to be Izzy. It was rumored to be versus the winner of Duplessis and Whitaker, as long as that was Duplessis. It was rumored to be Strickland. I mean, I'm just suggesting for you the fact that we haven't heard from Adesanya. If we're just taking guesses, that's all we've got, right? We're just over here. We're just making conversation. We're going to report on nothing. We're probably not even going to start a rumor, but we can have a little bit of a conversation. I mean, this is the fun stuff, right? The fact that we haven't heard from Izzy is a massive clue. I just don't know in which direction. It is unusual. Nobody has ever told Izzy who to fight. Izzy has informed us first before he's gone to the promotion. It's one of the things that makes him a man of the people. He comes to us on the microphone with Rogan every single time. And so if Izzy is to remain on the card, which I think is your strongest guess, by the way, I'm just suggesting for you that we don't actually have that piece of information. But if he is to remain on the card, guys, against who? Be real hard if you're a decision maker to give this to Strickland after he publicly said he wasn't doing it. So let's eliminate Strickland. It could reasonably bring you back to Cannonier. The reason that is so hard is the first fight, it wasn't sought after. And on the back end of the first fight, there was a lot of criticism, even directed at Izzy. Now, that wouldn't disqualify that fight. But this is pretty interchangeable in terms of resume and in terms of rankings. It's pretty interchangeable. If you weren't going to go with Sean, you're going to go with Cannonier. I don't know that I buy that, though it would be possible. Whitaker and Duplessis are off the board. Whitaker could have beaten Duplessis. Whitaker could have stopped Duplessis in 1 second. He wasn't going to come and do this fight, just so you know. It didn't matter that it was Duplessis and he ended up pulling out. Neither one of those guys was going to turn around in a month. Gaslam's left the division. Before you tell me that's weird, I bring him up. It was fight of the night. It was promised in Australia at one point, and we're just over here picking things. Chimaev's got his business with Paulo. Paulo's got his business with Chimaev. Bo Nickel's not in the ranking, even though everybody knows there's not 10 guys alive that can beat him. They don't have the courage to put him in the ranking for some mysterious reason. And where do you want to go, guys? Who am I leaving out here? Who am I forgetting now? Of course, I didn't sit here for 8 minutes and 46 seconds to tell you guys nothing. The strong rumor behind the scenes, and I must tell you, it's not one that I believe. I don't believe it for a number of reasons, but the strong rumor behind the scenes is Prochazka. The strong rumor behind the scenes for a while is that it's going to be Prochazka. Strong rumor behind the scenes for a meaningful amount of time is that when Yuri returns, he returns at 185 pounds. That's a stretch for me for a number of reasons. First off, I don't know that I see him at 185. Yuri's a lot bigger than you might think, and he's taller than you might think. I've never heard Prochazka one single time say 185 pounds. In fact, I've heard quite the opposite. I've heard him talk about Jamal Hill. I've heard him talk about the winner of Pereira versus Blachowicz. I've heard him aligning himself at 205 pounds. I'm just sharing for you that, yes, I am aware, before you have to get in front of this thing and tell me, I am aware of the rumor of Prochazka. I do think that Sean Strickland makes a fair point, which is a debut in Australia where Izzy is one half of the all-time record of 57,000 live. 6 weeks away. I do believe there is somebody. And looking at 185 pounds, if it's not Strickland, it's very, very tough to figure who that somebody would be. And we could even take a great risk and say they're on this card in Salt Lake. And there is the Russian that Paulo was supposed to fight, and he's fighting a different guy, and I got to call him the Russian. I got to call him different guy. I don't know their names. They're very tough. I've looked them both up. I've seen their resume. They're very tough. I just don't think that's the direction we're going. It's a really tough spot. All we've done here for the last 10 minutes, I guess I'll call it a wrap. All we've done is gone in circles and try to speculate. But if you guys have heard something or you have a different opinion, I really would like to hear it. It is very surprising that we haven't heard from Izzy. If that fight is done, if there is somebody that is picked, which if Strickland was told, you're released, go have burgers, as Sean put it, that means somebody is picked. And Adesanya has never kept a secret from us. So does the somebody, and does the main event, and does the title that's going to be contested still involve Izzy?